how many questions to attempt in UPSC Prelims paper 2025. So इससे ही आपका sweet spot decide होगा कि आपको कितने questions करने हैं exam. Because it's very important to find that sweet spot for you. What kind of aspirant you are by attempting more tests. Very important criteria that will decide how many questions you need to attempt is the nature of question asked and the toughness level. Hello everyone, I am Sajal Singh, the Academic Director Offline of Sarrthi IAS. This topic which I'll be discussing today, this is actually a lot of students actually mail me, they actually ask me offline, online, that what is the sweet spot in terms of attempting questions? How many questions should you attempt in UPSC Prelims exam? Now that is something which is literally, now that we are in January and we are 4 months away from prelims, this is the question which every aspirant has in mind. What exactly is the sweet spot with respect to number of questions that has to be attempted in this exam? So in this video, I'll give my perspective about how many questions you need to attempt as somebody who has qualified prelims all the time by almost 30 to 35 marks margin from the cutoff. This is something that has worked with me. Now, mostly it may work with you also, or you can have a different strategy or approach to this topic, but let me share my approach to this very important question, that is how many questions to attempt in UPSC Prelims paper 2025. Before we move, so the first thing, or before we move, I would also like to make an announcement that I will be conducting a seminar on prelims preparation, 4 months of prelims preparation. What should be your daily, weekly and monthly timetable, which are the high yielding areas, how to revise, how to make notes. All that will be covered in that session. So along me, and there will be 1 or 2 IAS, IPS rankers of mine who have scored really well in prelims. So they will be part of this seminar. It will be offline seminar. And since it's an offline seminar, the number of seats will be limited. So there is a form in the description box. Fill that form. Then our team will reach out to you for confirmation. So see you in the seminar also. So the first thing, or the first criteria that you should keep in mind while deciding how many questions to attempt is with respect to candidates' temperament and accuracy. Temperament and accuracy, that's very important. The reason why I am saying it's very important is that candidate A, candidate B, candidate C have got similar number of marks in prelims by attempting different number of questions. For example, there are people whose accuracy rate is very good, right, whose guesswork is very good. Now these kind of people usually attempt 95, 90, 100 questions and they score really well. Then there are people who can get the same number of marks by attempting 75 to 80 questions, because somehow they feel that if they take too much risk, their accuracy will fall and they'll get questions wrong, or perhaps their guesswork is not that great, right? So that you will actually understand what kind of aspirant you are by attempting more tests. जितने आप टेस्ट दोगे ज़्यादा, उतना आपको समझ में आएगा कि आप एस्पिरेंट ए हो कि एस्पिरेंट बी हो. क्योंकि if you feel कि आपने मॉक दिया and if you feel that you are getting, let's say 120 marks by attempting 95 questions, then that is a strategy that will work for you. But also try करो कि अगर आप 80 questions कर रहे हो तो आपके कितने मार्क्स आ रहे हैं, 75 कर रहे हो तो आपके कितने मार्क्स आ रहे हैं, राइट? यूजुअली 75 के नीचे नहीं जाना है हमें, राइट? तो 75 इज द मिनिमम number of questions that you need to attempt in any case. Easy ho, tough ho, it does not matter. You have to attempt 75 questions. But जो upper limit है, that will only depend on various factors, and the most important is the candidate's temperament. कि उसका guesswork कैसा है, accuracy कैसी है, and that you will only develop by giving more and more mocks. ठीक है? Second, very important criteria that will that will decide how many questions you need to attempt is the nature of question asked and the toughness level. So when you see a paper, what you need to do is 2-3 minute, 4 minute, what you need to do is just scroll through the paper and see, observe the toughness level, right? Observe the subjects that you will do first. Because once you glance through the paper, you will actually get a hold of a pattern. And because if you're a serious aspirant, you will also get an idea about how tough the paper is. So toughness of paper will decide how many questions you do. For example, I can give you an example of 2016 attempt. The moment I saw the paper, I come to know that इस बार तो 110 के ऊपर जा रही है cutoff. Because I think exam before that, the cutoff was around 98 or 100. So the moment I saw the paper, I came to know that इस बार 110 के ऊपर जा रही है because many questions were from the basic books. So that is also a criteria. If you see that many or majority of the questions are solvable or from the basic books, it means that it is easy for everyone. And the moment you realize this, you will have to increase the number of attempted questions. So, usually the idea is that you need to do the paper in 3 rounds. I would say 2 or 3. For some, 2 is valid. For some, 3 is valid. That will depend on case-to-case basis. For example, first round. In the first round, if you can attempt, so first round is where you will attempt the questions that where you are 100% sure. Now, let's say if the first round you attempt 40 plus questions, which means 40 plus questions you are 100% sure about. Then it means that somehow the paper is easy. And since the paper is easy, I'm talking about a serious aspirant. From the perspective of a serious aspirant who has prepared really well and who has done all the basic books and everything. It means an easy question means that you need to attempt more questions, right? Because the cutoff will be high. Let's say if you attempt 30 to 40 questions, it means it's a moderate paper. Cutoff will be somewhere at the moderate level, not that high, not that low. Let's say you have attempted less than 30, just like the 2023 paper, where many questions or many aspirants attempted less than 30 questions in the first round. First round means what? Where you're 100% sure. So if you have attempted less than 30, it means the paper is tough and you will not attempt a lot of questions because you will focus more on the accuracy rather than attempting more number of questions. Now the idea is that if let's say you are in zone 1, which is 40 plus, easy paper, 90 questions, 90 plus questions you need to attempt. If you are in zone 2 or moderate paper, I would say somewhere around 80 to 90 questions. And if you are in zone 3, 75 to 85 questions. This is something which I used to do when I was giving the prelims. That easy है, ज़्यादा attempt करो. Moderate है, 80 to 90. And 75 is the cutoff, I would say. And the above cutoff is 95. Now, it's a tough question. It's a tough paper. People are attempting more. I've seen people getting a lot of questions wrong. And ultimately, their marks are very low. So, 75 से 95 is the cutoff that you need to see. अब ये depend करता है your temperament, your skills, nature of the question. एक और चीज that I need to focus upon कि solve कैसे करना है. तो देखो, the whole idea is, let's say you have attempted. तो आपको जैसे rounds में solve करना है. Round 1, round 2, and if required round 3. वैसे तो as an aspirant आपको first 2 rounds में खत्म कर देना है. First round is where you will do questions that are 100% sure. ठीक है? And you need to calculate your score. That okay, this is the score I'm getting. इसमें 2-3 questions wrong होंगे definitely, but this is मोटा I'm getting. Then in round 2, you will attempt questions that you are 50% sure, plus through elimination or logic. That is the round 2. अब यहाँ पे after this also you have to calculate your score. Let's say you are getting 100 plus very easily, 100 plus or 110, 120 is comfortable. Leave it there. अब अगर ये दो मिला के the number of questions are 75 or 80, fine, done. You don't need to attempt further because you're already scoring decently well above cutoff. But now if you see after 2 rounds also, आपको लग रहा है कि आपके 80 क्वेश्चन 80 मार्क्स ही बन रहे हैं, जो कि 80 आएंगे भी नहीं. It will be definitely around 70-65. ठीक है ना? Then you have no other chance but to go for round 3. Right, round 3 में you will do questions that you are 33% sure or you are not sure. सबसे पहले आप 33% श्योर वाले करेंगे, अगेन कैलकुलेट एंड सी योर स्कोर एंड देन फाइनल रिस्क ले लो. अगर आपको पता है कि आप हार ही रहे हो, देन गो फॉर द क्वेश्चंस यू हैव नो आइडिया अबाउट. ठीक है ना? सो दिस विल डिसाइड द नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस दैट यू विल सॉल्व इन द एक्चुअल एग्जाम. दिस विल डिसाइड. ठीक है ना? तो कोई एक फिक्स नंबर नहीं है, इट डिपेंड्स ऑन मेनी थिंग्स जो मैंने अभी तक बताया. ठीक है ना? सो इससे ही आपका स्वीट स्पॉट डिसाइड होगा कि आपको कितने क्वेश्चंस करने हैं एग्जाम. बिकॉज इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू फाइंड दैट स्वीट स्पॉट फॉर यू. सम स्वीट स्पॉट आप एग्जाम से पहले भी डिसाइड करते हो, सब आप और कुछ आप जो है एग्जाम के बीच में देखोगे, वहां पे यू विल हैव टू टेक दिस कॉल. ठीक है? सो आई थिंक दिस इज ऑल फॉर today's session and I will be again back with a very short video on prelims very soon. Thank you.